men, we now understand, being shot dead in Mofolo Central, that's in Soweto. The exact circumstances surrounding the incident are still unclear, but police and other law enforcement agencies are still at the scene. The shooting has led to the closure of several roads in the area, and for that, let's bring in JMPD spokesperson Xolani Fihla, who joins us now live. And Xolani, thanks very much indeed for your time. We'll speak about the routes affected in just a moment. I wonder, as a start, if you have any information around what might have happened here.
Morning to you, and let me also greet the viewers. At the present moment, as you've alluded to, that the motive of the shooting is not yet clear, but what we do know is that the three individuals who are deceased are water taxi marshals, so it could be suspected due to taxi violence, but it's still not clear, and I think three investigations from the SABC will highlight and bring a clear message on what exactly happened.
The scene, I understand, is of course still very active. Do you know if their bodies are still there, if those have been removed now?
What we do understand that the bodies are still there, still waiting for forensics to check and clear the scene, and once that is done, then the roads will be reopened. But the message that we are sending to motorists is just to exercise extreme caution, especially due to the crime scene, and to use alternative routes within the area.
Sure. Let's speak about some of those routes that might be affected, Xolani. The disruptions might be quite far-reaching.
No, definitely. The route that is affected at the present moment is Metropolitan Road. That's between Machaba Drive and Nape Avenue, and we are advising motorists to use alternative routes. So when coming from Dubai, you can rather use Muda Drive and Liselinyana and Kinini Street to get back onto Machaba, and coming from Zulu Drive and Elisumtoledi Road, you can use the same route as Machaba, Kinini and Liselinyana back onto Muda Drive and through Dubai, but motorists can also use Mansfield Road, or they can use Elisumtoledi Road as alternative routes. Yeah,
that area I'm not too familiar with, Xolani, admittedly, but it sounds like it's near a residential region or residential area. Are you able to confirm that? And if so, of course, the community there must be completely shaken by what's taking place.
Definitely, it is within a residential area. It is Mofolo Central. The closest to landmark is the Area 2 Mall, and it's not too far also from Kaya Center and other busy areas within the area, which is Dubai, Mofolo Central and Mofolo South.
Sure. It might be still a bit too early to tell, and of course you would have announced it by now, but I have to ask if you know of anybody else who might have been even injured because of its proximity to, that residential area.
At the present moment, it's not too clear. What we do understand and what we can confirm is the three individuals who have been fatally injured. I think officers on scene and investigators will then find and give us more indication if there is to any injuries and any other further information regarding this crime scene.
Fair enough. Xolani Fihla, thanks for letting us in on what you know. Understandably, of course, all of this is taking place as we speak, and so the information is trickling in. But for now, really do appreciate it. Xolani Fihla, the JMPD spokesperson, speaking to us there. And the breaking news there on your screen, 3 people shot dead in Mofolo Central in Soweto. I'm told it's actually near the offices of one of the more well-known taxi associations in that area. Xolani Fihla telling us that, in fact, these are operators within the industry, and so the initial indication is that this may very well have been taxi related. Let's take you to that scene. That's where we find now our reporter Calvin Dludla, who joins us now live. And as expected, Calvin, a lot of onlookers there. Great traffic, we're told, that's been caused by this shooting.
Good morning, Ayanda, and to our SABC viewers at home. Yes, indeed, there are onlookers, but surprisingly so, no one wants to talk to SABC News. Most of them are telling us that they didn't see anything, but you could hear when you listen to them carefully that they know something, and some of them have been here for hours, but you would know onlookers, in most cases, they don't want to involve themselves in such cases because they will be victimized. That is what they believe, but we will still try to engage them. I've been trying to speak to them, and they will be able to talk to us maybe at a later stage, maybe even off the record. But as you have mentioned, you are here at Mahalefele Road here in Mofolo. We were told that 3 males were fatally wounded, but we are still trying to gather information on what really transpired. But let me just tell you that there is a dispute that is ongoing between two taxi associations, that would be on Andue and Water, and that has caused a lot of problems for most passengers. You would remember that there was a strike that took place some months ago that you were covering, where you would see passengers stranded, not being able to go to work because one of the associations was banned or was stopped from operating because of this ongoing taxi wars. But let me just introduce Mr. Hamilton Mia from Water, one of the associations that is operating here. Mr. Hamilton Mia, thank you very much for your time. You can tell us now that what really transpired here. We see there are a lot of police officers here, there are a lot of people who are gathering here, and the number of people is telling us that this happens earlier. What really happened, if you have information? Welcome to SABC.
Actually, I know information aphelele because bengekho sizwa nje kuthiwa sizothi thina sekuthiwa kunabantu asebedutshuliwe oku isquad sethu esibheka umsebenzi bebathatha emotweni badutshulwa bonke bashona. Ukuthi badutshulwa banasazi sicabanga ukuthi lokho sikekele emaphoyiseni wena zodivestigator, because uma ngaba khona ngithi ngiyakususpecta ngabe ngidukisa amaphoyisa azosebenza umsebenzi wawo. Kodwa kwamanje ngikwazi ukuthi abantu bashonile bathathu badutshulwe imoto equest emhlophe edima amafastera, then ukuthi kwenzeke nasazi.
But imoto equest emhlophe edime amafastera
yabasho njalo ababonile
abachazi mhlawumbe isikhathi ukuthi kwenzeke ngabo bayikhathi
bengabo korafaseti ekseni beze ofisini.
Manje ngiyathusa manje, ngiyakhumbula ngikhuluma nawe ngale ndaba yamatekisi, bayanciphoza kwenu kule mboni. Uhulumeni kanti akukho angenelela ngakho. Ngiyakhumbula ngalela la ngasikhuluma wachaza ukuthi uyafisa ukuthi uhulumeni angena kamanci kulolu daba ngoba insizwa ziyaphela iphelela emzileni.
Uhulumeni kufuneka angenelele, kodwa sekuyoba nzima ukungenelela because uyowenza yonke lento. To start with, bengafanele athatha amaroute abanye abantu abanikeza abanye mase kunzima ukuthi ababuyisele emuva. That is why senza lento lenkinga lena, because lo amnikeza iroute uzobuka ukuthi manje usuyithathelani because seyibhalile sekuyile yonke ingabhekane nayo. That is why ngasakwazi ukuyisolve lento.
Udaba lolu lubucayi kakhulu ngoba manje ngathi senilalo benyoni bami.
Kuyiqiniso elingena kufika ukuthi silalo benyoni, sibonga masifika ekhaya, sibonge masibuya siphuma lishona ilanga because isima sikho kahle.
Phakathi people that we're seeing on the scene.
La bantu abadutshulwe ngiyabazi isquad sethu esisebenza naso abafana nje abaqashwe i-association.
Before the shooting, mhlambe bake bakhuluma ngokuthi maybe their lives are in danger. Did they expect something of this kind?
No, abakaze basho lutho. Sizwe nje thina sekuthiwa kunabantu abadutshuliwe. Masiyobheka ukuthi isquad sethu esisebenza naso, then that was the end. Sabathola sebeshonile boy 3.
Moving forward, Baba, following this incident, is there hope ukuthi these two associations ngahlala phansi mhlambe kube khona ama negotiations to avoid such incidents from happening again?
We asked thina siyiwata it's several times ngikhuluma into eyodwa ukuthi thina siyimisela ukusebenzisana nabo ngoba into esizele ukuzosebenza manje ngathi bona bayimisele laba abanye engasho ukuthi babenze lokudubula, kodwa sengisho nje ukuthi abayimisela ukusebenzisana nathi ene baze basho ukuthi kanti thina ngeke sisebenze neWater. Ilokho nje okuyinkinga kithi, thina simisela ukuthi kusetshenziswane.
Azikho ingxoxo enibambayo nalabo abanye association ukuze kubonakale kuphendleka indlela yaphambili, ngoba phela uma ngabe ukuthi lezi gameko ziyaqhubeka bazophela abantu, uhulumeni anivalela imizila kujike kulamba imndeni yenu.
Abanye association abakwazi ukungena noma bayisaba basabela impilo zabo nabo, because lento uyayibona ukuthi isima kanjani manje mazokhuluma indaba yakwenye indawo ingaku-involve ukhiphe isinqumo ususa impilo yakhe isisengozini. Ilokho nje sicaba ukuthi bayakubona, kodwa ke uhulumeni okufuneka akhulume iqiniso ukuthi wenzani.
And Baba, according to understanding, le battle lena has been going on for over 10 years.
Kuyiqiniso ukuthi it's for over 10 years. Okumbuza ukuthi njoba iqale ngo-2015, before 2015 bekwenzekani, ubani obesebenza lapho? okufanele sikuthole nje lokho ukuthi uhulumeni asho ukuthi ubani obesebenza lapho because thina sithole nje sekuthiwa thina access indawo yethu kodwa all along sazi ukuthi indawo yethu thina sisebenza khona sathi access yona yethu then lo mbuzo nje sina ukuthi kwenzekeni uhulumeni njoba sekunjena nje naye akasenalo nuzolo because lento ufuna ukuyichaza no president Sambalela sasi uMC uminister ubhekicele by then wayilokhuza minister sasi ulokhuza ufikile Mbalula by then wayilokhuza minister of transport sasiya ulokhuza commissioner national commissioner I don't know was Fani Masimula or who's there
kodwa udaba libonakala lingaxazululeki
alixazululeki because bonke abafuna uku-interview nakulolu daba
yini ebabambayo
asazi kodwa ukubabambile kodwa ukuthi babanjweni babazi ukuthi babanjweni because abafuna ukukhuluma iqiniso namanje nje January basingeze isinqumo esasingasho ukuthi bawusithatha thina masifika lapha sasabe ukuthi uBenito uthi ama permit oyi2 Afrochland enasayinwa ijunior official wathi uzobuya nge15 zika January makubuya nge15 ka January buya nalesinqumo esisiqabanisile susudlama olukhulu uthi indawo kaNanduwe then asaka ukuthi ufika kanjani lo ekananduwe ipermit ilungeni because befunekeze nama findings wakhe athi no sengiyabothi wadigangile nama ama registration kuhambe kanje na kanje akazabuye nalo kodwa kuye nesinqumo esasingasilindele ugovernment se involved yonke le government involved
ngiyakhumbula ukhala ngenkathi senze interview usho ukuthi ngathi usola ukuthi isikhona isandla sempeni ikhona inkohlakalo umbuzo wami uthi ke uma ngabe wena usola ukuthi njengomuntu wewathi association usola ukuthi ikhona inkohlakalo okusho ukuthi ke le mpisa azoqhubeka akusinto engaziphele manje namhlanje kudutshulwa kwabulawa abantu abathathu ngaleli cala futhi kungenzeka ukuthi ngesinye isikhathi esilandelayo kuphinde futhi kudutshulwa abanye ngoba phela njengokusho kwakho uthi wena ugovernment ngathi ukhona inkohlakalo involved kuyo
ugovernment ukuthi kukhona inkohlakalo akusho ngomina kwasho uJathshongwe uyowayenza ama findings wathi ama government officials are involved then since then sekuphele 5 years or 4 years ayikazi lokhu ayikazilandelela indaba kaJathshongwe ama findings wakhe ukuthi wayengalandelelwa asazi because lento lenkulumo engikhuluma akuseyami judge uShongwe owayephethe this arbitration ukuthi kwenzekeni and abaze balandela unkulumo ukuthi baphume na ukuthi cha siyayithola ama findings kaJathshongwe and I believe kwachitha imali eningi kakhulu lapho oshuthi le mali yaye emgodini nje because akwenzekanga lutho after that
ngicela nje ukhumbuza umbukele ekhaya ukuthi imuphi lo mzila obangwayo kuze kuleli insizwa phansi manje
umzila obangwayo i-market stores Sizwe stores kwaMthetho stores market garage
senithukile kodwa impilo yenu nibonisa engcupheni bami
for the past 10 years sengcupheni impilo yethu namanje sibonga uNkulunkulu ukuthi sisekhona abantu balokhu behamba kodwa impilo nje for the past 10 years sengcupheni ngenxa government
manje baba moving forward kuzokwenzakalani
moving forward isekumsebenzi wamaphoyisa because thina ikenze singasho nomuntu odubulila simazi kodwa masikakhuluma ngokuthi kuzokwenzekelani ngabe siphazamisa uphenyo lwamaphoyisa amaphoyisa azobheka ukuthi atholani then isozwa ngawo thina
akhona amaphoyisa la ngiyawabona sekufike nabo ezokuxhumana emaphoyiseni ikhulu zakhona abebengakaniluma indlebeni nabanichazele ngabe sebekutholile
cha bebengakasho lutho khane befika nje na ukuthi batholeni asikezwe lutho mhlawumbe bazositshela makhona abakutholayo kodwa manje bebengatholi lutho ngokuzwa kwethu
imndeni yalabo abantu abashonile siyazisiwe
ngifuna ukusho ukuthi kunzima ukuyazisa angazi noma sebeyazi kodwa mina bengakabathinti because kunzima ukuthi ufike emndeni ukuthi uba nakasekho imbuzo engakhona ukuyiphendula leyo kodwa khona sizobazisa then mama phoyisa seqedile
miyasibonga kakhulu ngesikhathi sakho
siyabonga
that was Mr. Hamilton Meyer. Ayanda Mr. Hamilton Meyer is from the Witwatersrand Taxi Association. That would be your water. You would understand very well, Ayanda, that is there is an ongoing dispute between two associations here in Soweto. That would be your water and Nanduwe. Nanduwe is a Nansfeld Taxi Association. Both of them are in squabble over certain routes here. You would remember that they have even involved courts, but it seems as if this issue is not getting attention, or there is no solution on it. You would hear Ubabumia speaking isiZulu saying that this incident took place at around 8:30 in the morning of today, and 3 males were fatally wounded. I'm asking him if they have managed to notify the families of the bereaved. He's saying that no, they have not notified them, saying that government needs to intervene in this issue. There are onlookers. I'll just step out of shot so that Masabata can just show you onlookers here, people who are just waiting here. As I have mentioned earlier, they don't want to talk to SABC News. They are saying that they didn't see anything, but I can tell you, I managed to hear them that they did see something, but most of them are fearing for their lives. Most of them, they don't want to be victimized. Masabata will show you the members of the South African Police Service from the Orlando Police Station. Then nearby police station in this area is Orlando and Moroka, and you can see there are communicators that are coming from the South African Police Service. Colonel Kweza, one of the provincial communicators of the South African Police Service, is here. We managed to speak to her, and she said she needs time just to gather information, and she will be able to address media today. But I can tell you now that 3 people have been shot dead at around 8:30. The motive for now is still unknown, and according to Mr. Mia from Wata is saying that they were shot at around 8:30. They have not notified their families, and he doesn't think that this will end up until our government intervenes on this issue. It's a very difficult issue, especially for people on the ground, especially for passengers, because they are the ones that suffers most. Because now what might happen is that government must decide to stop this route, and that will be a problem for passengers. We will wait for the statement or the communication from the South African Police Service. As I have mentioned, they are here. They will be able to brief us. I will just alert studio if they brief us so that we can be able to get more information on this one. But just for now, let me say back to you in studio.
Calvin, if you're able to hear us before I let you go, I think it's worth taking a few steps back and just, allowing our viewer in on the context here. You've covered a number of these, let's call it, related incidents around the, severed ties between Wata and Nandue. What's at the heart of the contention? People know, loosely speaking, it's got to do with roots. Is that one of them?
Yeah, that is the main problem. The bone of contention is the roots, because you could hear Ubabumi telling us that is the problem, because now, according to him, this roots belongs to them. But Nandue managed to go to court, and the court did manage to overturn the judgment and said that now this route belongs to Nandue, which is very difficult for Wata, because according to Mr. Mia, this route is this is their route, and they are benefiting from this route. So if government decides, or the courts decide that route does not belong to them anymore, it's a problem for them, because that would mean that their taxis would not be able to operate, which will then have a problem when it comes to income, because you would understand that most of these taxis, especially these quantums, they are still paying for them, they are still paying installments. So you would imagine if government says no, from today I'm stopping you to operate in this route, then it means then you won't be able to keep up with your payments, your installments. It's expensive to pay for these taxes. So that is the issue for now. But let me just tell you that we will be able to try and get Nandue so that they can be able to also have a comment on this. If we are successful, I will be able to let the office know, because it would be fair for them to also have a comment, so that we can be able to solicit a comment from them and hear their side.
All right, Calvin Dludla, thanks very much indeed. Calvin, of course, reporting there on a very, at the scene, very active scene, I should add, of a shooting where 3 people have now been killed, confirmed. It seems what's also been confirmed is that these are taxi operators associated with Wata, one of the associations that's at loggerheads with Nandue over routes in that particular area. In fact, I'm also reliably informed that this particular shooting is taking place on the very same street where Wata's offices are located. So insofar as the optics are concerned, I'm sure a message was being sent there in one way or the other. As soon as there's any other update, of course, we'll bring it to you live here on the SABC News channel.